This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
And good evening to you. Here at 11 o'clock, we start with a Storm Team 6 alert. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory joining us now. Temperatures are in the 30s right now and getting even colder, Kevin.
This is May. That's what you're asking yourself? Question mark, exclamation point. The answer is yes. Temperatures in the metro area in the upper 30s. I just want to show you all of Indiana has the freeze warning, and the pieces of the puzzle are falling in line. Skies have cleared and the wind is beginning to calm down. That's the combination then that we need. The clear sky, light wind, and the coldest air will settle to the ground. But notice we've still got a north wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And because we can, we should. Talk about wind chill temperatures. 29 is what it feels like in Muncie, 31 in the metro area with an actual temperature of 38. This is what we wake up to. Should be a record-tying 29 degrees tomorrow morning. The record was set in 1947. That's the coldest morning in the forecast. I'm anxious to show you the warmest afternoon and get into your Mother's Day forecast as well. That's all coming up here in just a little bit.
2 IMPD officers face criminal charges tonight. Police arrested them today in separate incidents. Officer Jason Norman, a 14 veteran of the department, is accused of domestic battery and criminal confinement. Officer Nicholas Warbleski, an 8-year veteran, is charged with official misconduct and theft. Chief Randall Taylor says the officers are on unpaid suspension, and he has recommended that both be terminated. For more details on the cases, go to theindychannel.com and click on this story. Well, those arrests come during an already painful time when it comes to the relationship between IMPD and the community. This evening, the department faced a third straight day of demonstrations at 62nd in Michigan. That's where a man was shot and killed by an officer on Wednesday. Police say 21-year-old Sean Reed exchanged gunfire with the officer while running away and ignoring commands to stop. His sister tells RTV6 she knows her brother was wrong to run, but does not think he should have been killed.
The chase was wrong. My brother was wrong for doing the chase. That's right, but my brother definitely did not deserve to be shot like that. Like I said before, and I keep saying again, they could have did what they did. They could have beat him up and locked him up. I knew my brother thought the situation was just going to go differently. I know he did. I know my brother didn't think they was going to shoot him down like that. He was scared.
The shooting that killed Reed was one of the 3 deadly incidents involving IMPD in a span of about 8 hours. A man was killed in another shooting on the north side. Investigators believe he may have planned to ambush officers. And a pregnant woman was hit and killed by an officer on the southwest side. Mayor Joe Hogsett is requesting the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office monitor the investigations into the 2 shootings. Now to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the economy and Hoosier lives. The virus is now blamed for 1,328 deaths in Indiana. More than 23,000 people have tested positive, and more than 130,000 have been tested across the state. Governor Eric Holcomb's roadmap to reopen Indiana is taking some big steps forward in most parts of the state. As of today, places of worship in most counties can resume in-person services under certain conditions. Pastor Matthew Ball at Faith Apostolic Church in Carmel is getting ready to welcome parishioners back to pews. Some of the precautions include only allowing the building to fill up to 50% capacity. Everyone will be encouraged to wear masks and use hand sanitizer. Members say for some people, getting back to church, even though it will be different, is important.
The church has to step up because people need that. We have hope. There are people who are stressed out and they're fearful and they're anxious, and the church can minister to that.
For those who may be at risk or just don't feel comfortable leaving their home yet, services will still be streamed live. Church restrictions are still in place in Marion County through at least next Friday. Some other major restrictions will be lifted starting Monday in most parts of Indiana. Restaurants will be allowed to open their dining rooms at 50% capacity, and hair salons and barbershops can open by appointment only. These steps apply to businesses in counties that have been in stage 2 for a week with no major issues, and that does not include Marion County, where stay-at-home orders are in full effect through next Friday. RTV6 has been sharing resources to help the community rebound from the coronavirus pandemic. That includes making sure taxpayer-funded programs are working as they should. When the stay-at-home order started, Best Friends Coffee and Bagel Shop in Brownsburg tried to stay open for curbside service. Despite a lot of support in the beginning, eventually business started to slow down. The owners made the tough decision to close about 5 weeks ago. But now, thanks to the second round of funding from the federal Paycheck Protection Program, the shop is back open. There were also just awarded a $1,000 grant from the town of Brownsburg.
For the town to do this, it really just shows that they're 100% committed to rebuilding the small business community and really helping us thrive. It's not just the small businesses. These small businesses, it's how families support themselves. Yeah. How mothers and fathers take care of their kids and potentially extended families. So again, it's not just about the business. It's further than that. It's more than that. It's about the families that these businesses help support.
Brownsburg has a total of $35,000 to award to different businesses. Independent workers have a new resource to manage how to make ends meet. A national nonprofit group called Green Path Financial Wellness is partnering with the Association of Independent Workers. They're offering financial counseling, debt management, and help with benefits and insurance programs specific to independent workers.
Now, pre-pandemic, we knew that about 60% of these full-time gig workers would have trouble covering a $400 emergency. And today, through no fault of their own, many more are facing financial challenges.
Green Path says many people want to know if mortgage assistance is a good deal for them. There is also a lot of confusion about which assistance programs are available to independent workers. For more information, you can go to greenpath.com.
Regardless it's a union job and regardless that it's good money and stuff, it's not worth my life.
Risking his livelihood to avoid risking his life. Tonight, RTV6 talks to a man who works at a meatpacking plant in central Indiana who says he is not going back just yet. Over the past several weeks, meat processing plants around the country have become hotspots for COVID-19. The Tyson plant in Logansport closed at the end of April because hundreds of employees tested positive for the virus, according to the state health department. It reopened yesterday with reassurances from the state and the company that safety measures are in place. But one employee tells RTV6's Cornelius Hawker he and many of his co-workers are afraid to go back to work.
Every 2 houses, there's a Logansport sign. There's a Tyson sign sitting in the front yard.
Tyson is Logansport's top employer. That's why the COVID-19 outbreak, forcing it to close on April 25th, was so devastating to the community. Gary Whitehouse and his family are going through it.
I just spent my last $10 at Walmart.
But when news got out the plant was set to reopen after nearly 2 weeks of being closed, Greg says he made the choice to not go back to protect himself and his family.
I wasn't going to take a chance at getting it, and even if I don't catch it and I'm just a carrier, I'm making them all capable of catching it, and I couldn't do it.
He's read about the safety measures Tyson says they put in place, like screening workers for COVID-19 symptoms, enforcing social distancing, and requiring workers to use surgical-style face coverings. But he doesn't think any of that will do any good if the workstations are set up like they were before the closure.
Where we're standing right now at the job, it's 4 people working next to each other, if not 5.
For context, this is how close we were standing for most of the interview. Gary tells me he knows he'll probably lose his job after the story airs, but he thinks it's important for folks to know the tough situation many people like him are in.
They say the ones that get affected the worst are the elderly and the children. Well, I'm around elderly people, I'm around children every day, and I'm gonna be 50 next year. So it's not worth it.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
In addition to testing all of its employees, Tyson has installed additional workstation barriers. More hand sanitizer is available to workers. The company is also screening employees before they're allowed in. The Logansport facility has a mobile health clinic that's also being used to control and prevent the spread of the virus. During today's daily briefing, state officials were asked what safeguards are in place to keep workers at the Logansport Tyson plant safe.
A big issue there also is how individuals travel into the plant to work and come together, how they congregate live during the week, and oftentimes can infect each other that way and then even return to their homes. So a big part of what we're doing is making sure that we're able to address those specific things to prevent this type of infection from happening again.
Dr. Christina Bach says the state health department is working with the county health departments and companies to help prevent COVID-19 hotspots in the workplace. The monthly jobs report released today shows a snapshot of the devastating damage the coronavirus outbreak has inflicted on the economy. ABC's Inez de la Catera reports this comes as questions persist over how to safely reopen the country.
Today, new numbers released by the Labor Department showing the worst unemployment rate since the Great Depression.
I had no idea that it would be 2+ months, and still we have no idea when we're going to be able to open.
20.5 million jobs lost in April, bringing the unemployment rate to 14.7%. The president's top economic advisor predicting on CNN that number will rise.
The next one should be around 20. I was thinking this one might be as much as 20, but we had a big decline in the labor force as well.
Around the country, food lines growing. A record number of families unable to make ends meet, and up to 10 million people still waiting for their stimulus checks. But the White House insists.
And I can tell you this, the president that got us to the hottest economy in modern history, he's done it once, and he can do it again.
This as millions of Americans try to figure out how to balance their health and livelihoods. 44 states now easing restrictions, even as the number of COVID-19 cases continues to rise nationwide. After the White House refused to publish new CDC guidelines meant to help states and businesses reopen, Dr. Deborah Birx now telling CNN.
Those are still being worked on. No one has stopped those guidelines. We're still in editing.
Meanwhile, the virus inching closer to the White House. 2 staffers testing positive for COVID-19. One of the president's personal valets, the other a member of the vice president's team. The president today visiting a World War II memorial alongside veterans without wearing a mask.
This president will make the decision as to whether to wear a mask or not. I can tell you that those veterans are protected.
Now, there was some good news in that jobs report. More than 70% of Americans who lost their jobs say they believe they will get it back once things go back to normal. Inez de la Catera, ABC News, Washington.
As more cases of COVID are being described, new syndromes are being recognized in different types of patients.
A rare but serious illness that's affecting kids may be linked to COVID-19. Why parents should not panic. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
RTV6 is working for you. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Well, for the most part, COVID-19 has not had a big impact on the health of children, but there is a new concern about the virus and kids. New York State issued an urgent warning about a mysterious condition that could be linked to the coronavirus. More than 60 children have been infected with a rare inflammatory condition similar to toxic shock, or what's known as Kawasaki disease. Symptoms include fever, rash, swollen lymph nodes, and in some cases, swelling of the hands and feet. RTV6 spoke with the medical director of infection prevention at Riley Hospital for Children. He shared this message for parents.
Parents will look at stories like this and freak out, right? The most important thing to remind people is that this is a very rare condition. It's mostly seen in children who have COVID. So they are going to be presenting with fever. They may be presenting with rashes. What I would say is the parent, if they have a child who develops those type of symptoms, they need to call their doctor immediately.
Dr. John Christensen tells RTV6 he's not aware of any confirmed cases of the condition in Indiana. He stresses preventing the spread of COVID-19 is key, and that includes washing your hands and wearing a mask. Another medical mystery related to the coronavirus, some patients are having strokes. Doctors say the trend is more prevalent in young adults. Scripps reporter Lindsay Boach is looking at why this is happening and how it caught researchers off guard.
As we kind of pull apart the COVID genome and try to understand how the COVID particle infects humans, then I think we'll understand more mechanistically of how that's happening.
Dr. Michael Makeley is a neurologist at Craig Hospital in Denver, Colorado. He says he and his colleagues are now treating stroke patients who previously tested positive for COVID-19.
The patients that I'm taking care of right now are young people. There are some risk factors that they had for stroke and cerebral vascular disease. It's certainly worrisome for perhaps a connection to this serious COVID infection that they had and have cleared.
Dr. Makeley says this is still a very new field of research, as COVID-19 is still relatively new in the U.S. Coronavirus is mostly thought of as a respiratory disease affecting the lungs. But as medical centers look at their COVID patients and the prevalence of stroke, they're finding the disease can also impact our blood.
There are suggestions that COVID itself may lead to what we call a hypercoagulable state. So people become more likely to have clots form. And that could be in the legs, that could be in the lungs, and it could be in the brain.
And the smaller organs, like the kidneys and liver. Dr. Makeley says the patients he's treating each had a large clot in their leg in addition to their stroke, which he says supports the theory of a coagulation issue with the virus.
And these couple patients were wondering if this is this kind of post-COVID aftermath, this surviving COVID, but they have this, profound neurologic deficit.
For now, he says they're called cryptogenic strokes, meaning they just don't understand the reasons behind it. I'm Lindsay Boach reporting.
And now to the forecast. Kevin joining us now with something you don't hear very often in May, a freeze warning. Kevin?
Question for you, Mark. Do you want to sleep through the coldest temperatures?
Definitely. Definitely.
All right. Set your alarm for 9 a.m. That should get you in the clear.
All right, sleep in.
At that point will start to climb. Yeah, if that's sleeping in. Let's talk about all of Indiana being in the freeze warning. And the freeze warnings go all the way down to northern Gulf Coast states, northern Georgia, for example. And tomorrow's temperature is the coldest in my 7-day forecast and should be record-tying cold going back to 1947. 38, that's our current temperature in Indianapolis. 37 in Martinsville. Temperatures are closer to freezing in Tipton and Crawfordsville. Skies are clear. The wind that was gusting almost to 40 miles per hour through the afternoon is now 10 miles per hour or less. As you look at these morning low temperatures, 50 is our average low temperature, obviously way off that mark, but within the 7-day forecast, we'll have low temperatures 30 degrees warmer than what we expect tomorrow morning. Here's your weekend forecast, a split weekend. The sunshine helps us recover tomorrow to 55. On Sunday, 56 will be the high temperature. Our rain chances will increase from late morning through the afternoon. Lots of sunshine tomorrow. That helps the temperature jump to 48 at noon. Not nearly as windy. Temperatures in the afternoon at about 55 degrees. And again, 70 is your average high for May. Early May. Rain chances, they go up late morning and then they'll peak in Indianapolis in the early afternoon. Again, in the western portion of the state, I think we'll see some of the rain earlier. Here's more on the timing. 7 a.m. dry. By 10 a.m., some showers from Indy west. Then you'll begin to see a line with a little more coverage at 1 o'clock in the afternoon through 4. Here comes the next line. Maybe a rumble of thunder there, but not expecting any severe weather. Temperatures will stay in the mid-50s. That wind will gust to 30 miles per hour once again. This is maybe what you're looking for. Warmer temperature, something that represents May. That can be found next Thursday and Friday with temperatures in the mid-70s. As so often the case, when we get the warmer air returning, we get a little more moisture and a better chance for thunderstorms. That's the end of next week, though. Cover the plants tonight, bring them into the garage so they'll still look good on Sunday. Mark?
That's what you want to do. Thank you, Kevin. From making graduation special for seniors to getting hot meals to families in need, here are some ways Central Indiana is working together to get through the pandemic.
Billy Joe Brown started Hendricks County Adopt a 2020 high school senior. The response? Overwhelming.
If you go to the page, you will see kids sitting there with baskets full of goodies, or a note or a letter or a new shirt from the college that they intend to attend.
The Facebook group was filled with hundreds of seniors looking to be adopted in a sense, and it's resonating with people. This generosity is something Billy Joe says she couldn't have imagined, but is glad to see it's happening here in our community, bringing us together during such a difficult time.
The food insecurity right now is probably an all-time high.
Hoagland Fine Catering sponsor a meal program, provides a hot meal to families of 4 to 6. They're working with the Damien Center and the Mary Rigg Neighborhood Center to reach those families. The program allows people or businesses to call in and purchase the fully prepared meal for $45. With help from their community partners, the meal will then be delivered directly to a local family.
We all are in this together, and that's something that has been said over and over again. And it's a very small effort on your part that is going to make a huge difference in someone's life.
And we want to hear more stories of Hoosiers working together. Share the positive efforts going on in your community by emailing us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
I'm Dave First with another RTV6 Senior Salute as we continue to honor the graduating spring sport athletes. Tonight we head to Columbus North High School. Meet Sierra Norman, a two-sport athlete wrapping up her run with the Bulldogs. But her softball career is far from done. She'll play next season for the Marion Knights. And a salute to Grant Trinkle, a four-year starter on the Bulldogs baseball team, an exceptionally quick outfielder with a bat to boot. He'll play baseball at the next level, committing to John Logan College. Good luck to both. I'm Dave First with another RTV6 Senior Salute.
Weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Well, you can get a taste of Chicago by hopping on I-65, but you don't have to drive all the way to the Windy City. RTV6's Brad Brown goes inside a Zionsville restaurant that's serving up Chi-Town favorites.
The bricks on Main Street in downtown Zionsville aren't quite so busy these days, but if you do venture to this historic block, you'll find many restaurants open for takeout and delivery. And if you know the right door to look for, you can find a pure taste of Chicago.
Out here in Zionsville, it's just a community where people are sitting at different tables, but they're just interacting, which is going to be a little bit different because everyone's used to jumping around tables talking to each other. So I think that's really going to be a hard part.
Rush on Main is tucked into this upstairs spot. Johnny was born and raised in the region, wanted a proper taste of home here. So his kitchen is piling up the thinly sliced beef sandwiches. Don't be afraid to get it wet.
Making it in-house and slicing it in-house. Real thin, great au jus that we make.
And they're loading up the Chicago dogs with ingredients shipped in directly from the Windy City, neon green relish included.
Most of our food comes in here daily, which is really hard, especially now because it's hard with our vendors to bring stuff in here right now.
The bar would often be buzzing with customers from Boone County and beyond. For now, it's been takeout only. Zionsville has even set up spots downtown just for that.
Oh, the community's been amazing. Yeah, everyone from, all of our, our patrons to, honestly, all the restaurant owners, even on Main Street. We're always bouncing things back off at each other and learning from each other, so it's been great.
Johnny and his crew have been making adjustments to their dining room space to coordinate with the new capacity rules being put in place upon reopening.
We had someone come up yesterday and try to order a beer and sit down. It's like, we want you here, but, we safety first. So when we're able to, we're going to be open and ready for everyone to come back.
They also have a location in Brownsburg. It is Rush off Main. They have the same Chicago-style menu there. Johnny says they'll be opening up the dining rooms at those locations coming up on Monday, but they will have the menu still available to go as well. Many other restaurants around the area outside of Marion County will be opening up next week. We're keeping you up to date on all of it online. Just visit the We're Open Indy section on your RTV6 app and also at theindychannel.com. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6. Again, the predicted low 29, the record low 29. Sunshine really helps though. 11 a.m. 46, afternoon high with mostly sunny skies 55. Mark, have a good weekend.
Hey, you too, Kevin. And all of you at home, have a great weekend too. Thanks for choosing RTV6.